There are thousands of PS5 games out there, but only a handful truly stand above everything else. Here are 25 that earn their spot at the top. Starting the list at number 1 is God of War Ragnarok, which closes out Kratos and Atreus' Norse saga with brutal combat and some of the most cinematic set pieces on the platform. The father-son relationship anchors an already impressive story, and the single-shot camera keeps every fight feeling seamless. It's widely considered one of the strongest narrative action games ever made on PS5. Second on this countdown is Elden Ring, From Software's open-world reinvention of the Souls formula that respects player freedom above almost anything else. If a boss proves too difficult, you can simply ride Torrent in another direction and find new gear or spells first. With the Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion added, this remains one of the most complete dark fantasy experiences available anywhere. Number 3 is Marvel's Spider-Man 2, the definitive web-swinging power fantasy, featuring a dual protagonist story between Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Traversal across New York feels effortless thanks to near-instant load times, and combat blends acrobatics with symbiote powers in genuinely thrilling ways. It stands as one of Sony's strongest first-party showcases for what PS5 hardware can really do. Fourth on the list is Baldur's Gate 3, a reactive RPG that translated tabletop Dungeons & Dragons mechanics into a video game better than almost anyone thought possible. Choices ripple outward in unpredictable ways. Split-screen co-op works beautifully on PS5, and the sheer amount of narrative branching is staggering. It's frequently cited as one of the best RPGs of this entire console generation. Fifth is Astro Bot, a joyful platformer built entirely around showcasing what the DualSense controller and PS5 hardware can do together. Every level is packed with clever ideas, hidden secrets, and nods to PlayStation history that longtime fans will recognize instantly. It's one of the most purely fun games on the platform, appealing to players of every age and skill level. Number 6 on this countdown is Horizon Forbidden West, a bigger and more refined follow-up to Zero Dawn that never loses its sense of wonder. Aloy's journey across lush, dangerous landscapes filled with robotic creatures feels more polished in every way, from combat to traversal. It's a well-tempered evolution that consistently ranks among the best open-world games on PS5. Seventh is Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, an open-world samurai adventure set during the Mongol invasion of Japan that leans heavily into atmosphere and visual spectacle. Sword combat feels satisfying and deliberate, while the wind-guided navigation system remains one of the smartest quality-of-life ideas in open-world design. Added content in the Director's Cut only strengthens an already excellent game. At number 8 is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the sprawling second chapter in the Remake trilogy that expands far beyond Midgar into wide-open zones. Reimagined character moments hit emotionally, even for longtime fans who know the original story well, and combat blends real-time action with strategic party management. It's one of the most ambitious JRPGs currently available on PS5. Ninth on the list is Demon's Souls, Bluepoint's remake of the original PS3 classic that helped define what a PS5 launch title could look like. The dark, methodical combat remains just as punishing as it always was, now wrapped in incredible visuals and near-instant load times. Years later, it's still considered one of the best technical showcases on the console. Number 10 is Bloodborne, From Software's gothic horror action game that trades shields for fast, aggressive combat in a decaying Victorian city. The atmosphere is dense and unsettling from the very first area, and the lore rewards players who dig deep into item descriptions and environmental storytelling. Many longtime fans still consider it one of the best games the studio has ever made. 11th is Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Hideo Kojima's follow-up that expands the original's strange delivery and connection-focused gameplay into new regions and systems. It moves at a slower, more deliberate pace than most games on this list, but the atmosphere and world building are unlike anything else available. It's a divisive game, but an unforgettable one for the right player. At number 12 is Ghost of Yotei, an action RPG following Atsu on a personal journey of vengeance across the snowy tundras and grasslands surrounding Mount Yotei. Combat feels weighty and precise, while the open world design encourages genuine exploration over checklist busywork. Stunning visuals and strong pacing make this one of the most cinematic open world games released in recent memory. 13th on this countdown is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a turn-based RPG that surprised the industry with its inventive timing-based combat and emotionally devastating story. Every battle rewards precise reactions, layered on top of traditional turn-based strategy, and the presentation is consistently gorgeous. It's quickly become one of the most acclaimed RPGs to release on PS5 in recent years. 14th is Black Myth Wukong, an action RPG rooted deeply in Chinese mythology that follows a lone warrior through punishing mythic encounters. Combat rewards pattern recognition and precision, while the boss designs and environments consistently impress. It became a massive global success on release and remains one of the most talked about action RPGs on PS5 heading into 2026. Number 15 is Cyberpunk 2077. CD Projekt Red's vision of Night City finally realized thanks to years of updates and the excellent Phantom Liberty expansion. Overhauled skill trees, thrilling vehicle combat, and jaw-dropping ray tracing visuals make this one of gaming's clearest redemption stories. What started as a rocky launch has become one of the most respected open-world RPGs on the platform. 16th on the list is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, a harrowing survival adventure that pushes narrative-driven action to emotional extremes. Combat feels tense and grounded, forcing players to think carefully about every encounter, while the story challenges expectations at nearly every turn. It remains one of the most discussed and technically impressive games in Sony's first-party lineup. At number 17 is the Resident Evil 4 Remake, a survival horror reimagining that modernizes the classic while keeping its tense, over-the-shoulder combat intact. Limited resources and smart enemy design keep tension high from start to finish, and the merchant economy adds a satisfying layer of progression. It's widely regarded as one of the best remakes Capcom has ever produced. 18th is Hades 2, Supergiant Games' follow-up that expands the underworld escape formula with new gods, weapons, and a fresh protagonist in Molino. The roguelike structure keeps every run feeling different, and the narrative deepens naturally the more times you play. It's one of the most polished and replayable action games currently available on PS5. Number 19 is Helldivers 2, a chaotic co-op shooter where up to 4 players call in airstrikes and supply drops while fighting off alien hordes. Friendly fire is real, missions are tight, and coordinating stratagems with a squad rarely gets old. It remains a benchmark for what a modern co-op shooter should feel like on PS5 heading into 2026. 20th on this countdown is Split Fiction, a co-op adventure from Hazelight, where 2 players jump between constantly shifting sci-fi and fantasy worlds. Every chapter introduces a new mechanic, keeping the pacing fresh from start to finish, and the Friend Pass makes it easy to jump in with anyone. It's one of the most creative co-op experiences released in recent years. At number 21 is It Takes Two, a 2-player-only adventure built entirely around cooperative puzzle solving and constantly evolving gameplay ideas. Every chapter feels genuinely different from the last, and the emotional story ties everything together surprisingly well. It won Game of the Year for good reason, and remains a top recommendation for co-op-focused players. 22nd is Persona 3 Reload, a full remake blending turn-based dungeon crawling with a deep social simulation system set in a darker, more atmospheric world. Updated visuals and quality of life changes make it the definitive way to experience this story today. Fans of introspective, character-driven RPGs consistently rank this among the best on PS5. Number 23 is Monster Hunter Wilds, Capcom's follow-up to World and Rise, built around massive, living ecosystems and dynamic monster tracking. The loop of hunting, crafting, and upgrading gear remains one of the most addictive systems in modern gaming. It's also the most accessible entry the series has ever had for players jumping in for the first time. 24th on the list is Nioh 3, the latest entry in Team Ninja's demanding action RPG series, blending ninja and samurai combat styles into one cohesive system. The new open field structure adds verticality and side content without losing the series' signature tight combat feel. It's both a strong jumping-on point for newcomers and a rewarding challenge for longtime fans. Closing out the list at 25 is Kingdom Come Deliverance II, a historical RPG set in early 15th century Bohemia that leans fully into grounded realism over typical fantasy tropes. Combat demands patience and precision, and the world reacts believably to nearly every choice you make. It stands out as one of the most immersive and distinct RPGs available on PS5 today.